This lesson is all about connecting your business goals to your SEO strategy in a very specific way. We're also going to explain why just making a broad declaration like, I want to be number one on Google is not really a strategy. It's not good enough. In fact, I want to break that down just a little bit more. Too many home improvement contractors that we've worked with, in fact, most of our clients at one point or another have made some sort of statement like, I want to be number one on Google. And I think this idea is driven by a few things. So number one, you guys are wildly competitive, and we get that and we love it. After all, if you weren't driven to be that competitive, you wouldn't be in this business in the first place. I think the second thing that drives this kind of desire to be number one on Google is a fundamental misunderstanding of how Google works. And then the third thing that I think drives that claim to be number one on Google is fear. I think that you guys are afraid that if you're not quote unquote number one, you're going to miss out on business or your business is going to suffer. And in fact, there are a lot of SEO vendors out there that play on that fear. So what exactly is it that we're recommending that you do? We are saying that you should move from being reactive to being proactive and set specific, strategic, and measurable goals for your SEO campaigns that are connected to your overall business goals. And we've got some really specific examples to show you how to do that, including some great downloadable resources attached to this lesson. So let's get into it. So let's go take a look at what it means to connect your SEO strategy to your business goals. So here are a few examples we've put together. The first one is an example of a goal to change your revenue ratio. Let's say you do roofing and siding, but you make most of your money from roofing. Your goal could be to grow siding as a percent of revenue because maybe those jobs are more profitable. A second example would be to lower your PPC budget. So the image that you're looking at here, we call the tofu, mofu, and bofu funnel. Those tofu keywords, those broad scope keywords like bathroom remodeler, you're typically competing with Lowe's, Home Improvement, Angie's List, etc. And they're the most expensive from a PPC perspective. So if you can align your SEO strategy in the right way, you can stop advertising on some of those tofu keywords and lower your PPC budget while still getting the leads you need to meet your sales goals. And then the last example is a goal of reducing the percentage of leads you get from lead aggregators like Angie and Home Advisor. So let's go dive a little bit deeper into exactly how this last example would work. We've got a spreadsheet we're going to share as soon as I switch up my screen. So here we're looking at an example of an exterior contractor that offers roofing, siding, window and door replacement, and gutters. So our sample business here, they get about 65% of their revenue from roofing jobs, 20% from siding, 10% from windows and doors, and 5% from gutters. Let's say this example business has a revenue goal to hit $5 million in a calendar year. Their current lead sources are 40% from word of mouth. They get some smaller amount of leads from their manufacturer. Maybe that's Certainteed or something like that. And then they buy half of their leads from Angie. Their closing ratio is 40% and their appointment set rate is 70%. I actually realize now that I'm looking at this appointment set rate is probably a little high considering so many leads in our sample scenario are being purchased from Angie. So I'm going to knock that down to say 50% of the people you call, you can actually get an appointment with them. Okay, let's pop over here and see how this all shakes out. So what we're doing is we're pulling our revenue goal from the first tab. So that's $5 million. Then we're going to start to bake this out and see what happens. So if 65% of your business comes from roofing and you want to hit $5 million, then you need to do $3,250,000 in roofing in a calendar year. Let's say your average ticket price was $13,800. That means that you need to install or complete 236 roofing jobs in a year to get towards that 5 million goal. Divide that by 12, that's 20 jobs per month. If you close 40% of the appointments that you go on, then you or your sales team need to go on 49 appointments per month. And let's say of all the leads that come into your company, only 50% of them turn into appointments, which is probably more appropriate considering in this scenario, what our goal is to reduce the spend with Angie. So 50% turn into appointments. Now we have a number, and that number is 98 raw leads. Those are leads that have not been confirmed or qualified coming into your business a year, based on all these other assumptions. That's your goal per month to generate. Well, if we look at our sample scenario and we say, okay, well, the current sources of leads, and again, what we did, we were taking this 98 number and saying, if our goal was to stop buying so many roofing leads, then we're really only concerned with roofing to change this mix up here. So if you need 98 roofing leads and you get 40% from word of mouth, 10% from your manufacturer, and you buy half of them, that means you're right now buying about 49 leads per month from Angie, getting 10 or so from the manufacturer, getting 39 or so from word of mouth. So if you wanted to change this up and set a goal to cut how many leads you get from Angie by half, then what you'd want to see, you'd want to hit this 98 roofing leads per month and get 25% from SEO and only 25% from Angie. So I hope this makes sense, but what this is doing is it is showing you now have a tangible number that you can share. Let's just turn this orange. Share with your SEO vendor to say, if your goal is to cut the amount of leads that you get from Angie by half, according to all of these other assumptions, then your SEO campaigns, the target that you've set is we need to generate 25 leads per month from organic searches that search on keywords in your area, those keywords, bring people to your site. They either fill out a form or click to call or call into your shop. That magic number is 25. That is how you connect a business goal with SEO goals. And so again, continuing on with this sample scenario here, let's say you've been paying about $125 per lead to Angie. Based on the number that you've been buying per month for that $5 million goal, you've been buying 49 leads per month. You've been spending about $6,000, a little over $6,000 on Angie's leads. If you can generate half of those from SEO, you can cut the bill that you give to Angie in half. Okay, I hope this was helpful. This spreadsheet will be linked to the lesson, and it is yours to make a copy of and modify as you see fit. But what you need to do is you need to go and put your big picture goals. What are your products and services that you sell? What percent of your revenue do those make up? Where are you currently getting your leads? And what are some high level sales KPIs? And then from there, your average ticket prices are going to be different. Your revenue goal is going to be different. And once you fill some of these things out, then you start to come up with a very specific target for an SEO campaign by the trades that you represent. Okay, and that's the end of this lesson.